Hello my studious supporters, what's spinnin'? I'm Newt, your friendly neighborhood neutron. In this video, we will be covering how to name covalent compounds. Just so you remember, covalent compounds have elements that share their electrons. Now let's get into the video. To learn the rules of naming, we are going to name the compound NH3. There are 4 rules to naming covalent compounds. The first rule is that the element that is farther to the left on the periodic table is the element that you name first. If they are in the same group, list the element that is farther down first. Let's take a look at our example with nitrogen and hydrogen. It seems that hydrogen is more to the left on the periodic table than nitrogen. But in this case, since hydrogen can also be grouped with group 17, nitrogen is named first, as when comparing the two, nitrogen has a lower group number, aka more to the left. In our case, we will list nitrogen first and hydrogen second. Let me show you a more average case. Let's look at CO2. Carbon is more to the left than oxygen, and therefore it will be named before the oxygen, so carbon-oxygen. The second rule is that the second element in the compound will be named as an anion, so we will change the suffix to "ide". So in our example, let's change the hydrogen to hydride. On to rule number 3. We will have to include a prefix to show how many atoms of each element are in the compound. The only time you don't list the prefix is if the first element has just one atom. The covalent compound prefixes are as follows: mono, 1, di, 2, tri, 3, tetra, 4, penta, 5, hexa, 6, hepta, 7, octa, 8, nona, 9, and deca, 10. In our compound, there is one nitrogen, so we would put the prefix mono on the nitrogen. But for naming purposes, if there is only one atom of the first element, just leave off the mono prefix. Since there are 3 hydrogens, we use the prefix tri, therefore making our compound name nitrogen trihydride. Here's another example. N2O2 has 2 nitrogens, therefore we add the prefix di. Since there are 4 oxygens, we add the prefix tetra, making this compound's name dinitrogen tetroxide. But wait, this compound's name can be simplified further. That brings us to our next rule. Remove excess letters, specifically by changing AO and OO in compound names to just O. Let's go back to our example of dinitrogen tetroxide. Basically, as a way to simplify the naming process, we just change the tetraoxide to just tetroxide, removing the excess A. Another example is N2O5, which we call dinitrogen pentoxide instead of pentaoxide. Again, we are just changing the AO or OO to just O. Back to our original compound, good old NH3 or nitrogen trihydride. But wait! This compound also has another name, which is ammonia. Sometimes covalent compounds have common names along with their systematic names. One you might recognize is H2O, or water, which would systematically be called dihydrogen oxide. That is why it is important for you to learn the polyatomic ions in these tables, as they are covalently bonded elements that act as ions, and have different names that don't follow this exact naming system. Linked in this video and in the description box below is the video that lists all the polyatomic ions that you must know. And that's it for naming covalent compounds. There will be a worksheet below with the answer key that will give you some practice on naming covalent compounds. Anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share these videos. Also, if you have any questions or concerns, a Google form will be linked below where you can express your thoughts, ideas, or improvements I could make for this channel. Once again, this is Newt, your friendly neighborhood neutron, subatomically signing off.